Alright guys, so we're gonna play a little game today called What Can I Buy on Amazon and Get It by Tomorrow. So I haven't actually filmed a video with two cameras at once using the OBS Studio, so this should be an experiment. I'm using a webcam, cheap Nexi Go off of Amazon, and so what we wanted to do, assuming that you can see the screen capture, let's see, well, you just look up UHF VHF radios, free shipping on Amazon. Let's click Get It by Tomorrow. I'm not logged into the actual account, but I can sit here and I can go on my phone and I can check as I'm going along to make sure that it is actually something that I can get. So UHF VHF radio, and let's just say we had no radios and we wanted to find a radio. We wanted a radio by tomorrow. What would be the very cheapest one we could possibly find, right? That's what one of the goals here was to do. So we did narrow the price down to, like, I don't know, let's go no more than like $30. Okay, and so we got Prime, Get It by Tomorrow, $5 to $3. First thing we can see here is a UB82 8-watt radio, and my camera seems to be backwards. It makes it look like I'm looking at a different part when I'm actually looking at, yeah, I'm over there, but over there is actually over there. So I don't know if there's a way to flip the camera in OBS. So we have a UB82 supposedly 8-watt radio for $19. We've got a UB5R, a newer one, for $16. Another one for $19. We've got this one for $22. We have this one for $25, which is the 5RX. There's usually going to be no difference on that. That one comes with a folding antenna and a 771 clone. We have the GMRS para radios. I'm curious if these things are any good, these gooseneck ones, or even these. I like the 771 style antennas, but I also like to be able to put the radio in my pocket, you know, in like coat pocket, in, you know, shirt pocket. Here's a $19 one. There's this one for $22. These are not going to be really that small. Let's see what else we got. Are you kidding me? We got 7 pages of stuff. No, it says 164 items. We have the 5RM for $19. I don't know about the 5RM. I've read mixed reviews, and some of them seem to be kind of AI generated. What I like about this style of radio is you have full complement of keys, which you don't have on some of the other radios, like our Quan Shang type of radios. These are missing a whole line of keys compared to some. Like if we were looking at, like, let's say that one there. So yeah, you have the menu key, the up and down key, and the exit key. But I like the UB5R layout of the keys. I don't know what the green key does on this, but I always prefer to have a dedicated A and B key and a VFO and memory key. You can quickly toggle in and out of memory mode to just punch in a frequency, a simplex frequency, or whatever, and, you know, quickly switch back and forth. It isn't taking up that much real estate to ask it to do that. I don't like deep dive menus, and I don't think new people should have to deal with radios where you need to push a function key here to do all these other functions that they've left out because they wanted to reduce the amount of keys. So this radio here plugs in on the back of the battery. I'm sure this battery doesn't fit other radios, probably. But who cares? If you get a bad battery, just buy another radio. I mean, like, it's not even worth thinking about it. Okay, let's see. What are the reviews on this? Darn good radio. Love it. Very good quality radio. Fun radio for the price. Great radio. 1 star in another language. Translated. Bad battery. Battery does not last 1 hour without use. Too bad. Blah blah. I would buy it again just for the frequency tracking. So this guy said it's an improvement over the UV5R and some of the new features work really well. But spurious transmission would probably be a concern according to other reviews I have watched. I have not transmitted on except the low power or really local stuff. Seems to work pretty good, worth it for the money. Frequency tracking is really cool, it's spot on. PL tone of the repeater or anything else. And so anyway, that's $19.99. We could get it by tomorrow if we order it in I don't know how much time. Wow, if you order it in 9 hours, I don't think that's probably what it's going to say if I look on my phone, but let's take a look here. Okay. Let's see. Prime and delivery, get it by tomorrow. 132 results for me on this. There's a lot of $50 radios. I'm looking 16, 19. There's these mobile radios, which I think I would rather buy a mobile radio, but the goal is here to be cheap. And what can you get? There's a 5RM with for like $2 more, a programming cable, I think. I'm looking at it right now on the screen here. Oh no, it just comes with a different antenna. It also claims to be 10 watts. So it says we can get that if we order in the next 8 hours, so apparently these are correct. And we'll add this one to the cart as consideration. I'm not a fan of those displays. You can't read them outside. So, let's see here. Why would you pay $28 for this radio? The BFF8 Plus. I don't care if it works better, it looks the same as the UV5R. I'm not convinced that any of those other radios that look the same have better intermod. We're basically mostly seeing connectors at this point. So, yeah. So we got that radio. Let's see. Maybe we type in ham radio and see what. Let's try ham amateur radio. Enter. Get it by tomorrow. How about we just leave the price like where it's at? Just see what we pop up. $22 for this one. That's not bad. I've seen them a lot less, so. So there's the one we were just looking at. That's a 5RM. And it does claim to be 10 watts. You really don't want you don't want 10 watts. Seriously. Why is this one $40? Excuse me. $16. The one that I would want to buy, if it shows up, I'll show you. It's a newer, like one of these. Is this 2 radios for $39 and the programming cable and the plastic microphones and the extended batteries? By the way, I do not like these with the extended batteries. They kind of fit a little funky on most of them. We have the K5 Plus. Not really sure what that one's about. We have this $119 one. You gotta be crazy to buy that. I think they're really trying to cash in on some of the preppers, because that one comes with a whole lot of batteries. You got a Wakshan, or an Ocean, however you want to pronounce it. The B-Tech, which looks very similar to some of these other ones. Hey, we got a Striker. 10-4, good buddy. Now, honestly, these are actually badass little radios. They really, really are not bad. But, God, they're $300-something. And I don't know, there's so many different ones. But for CB radio, they're supposed to be like really good AM audio. To me, we have amateur radio and we have CB radio. And CB radio can be a lot of fun on AM. I'm a big fan of AM radio, but most of the hams don't want to talk AM, and the ones that do, they don't know how to shut up for more than 20 minutes at a time. And I'm not going to have a conversation on AM where you have a knife switch. Here's another variation, the Radiodity radio. This Radtel, I would love to review it if Radtel will send me a radio for free. And they have before, but they didn't send it to me like you guys think they did. They sent it to me because I complained on Amazon. And I told them I had a YouTube channel. So it was more because I was on Amazon complaining that they sent me a free radio to review. I'm not paying $49 for it, but it would be cool to try it out. We have these weird radios right here. These are really weird. They have some Anytone radios. I just can't justify spending that kind of money on a HT anymore. I did buy an Alinco that looked a lot like that Anytone for $179. You know, I ended up selling that radio for like $80. Here's a TYT VHF mono band radio for $127. These, a couple of these I've looked at, they feel really, really cheap. Really cheap. What's up with the pairs of radios? Everything's pairs. G90, I need to sell mine, I think. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I don't have any purpose for it. I really don't reach for it when I go portable. A wireless kind of ICOM type of microphone. Yeah, we're not actually like seeing a lot of radios here. This radio was on sale a while ago, the Radtel RT900. It's in Bluetooth programming and stuff like that, so you can program it from your phone, which is actually really neat. But I don't really care. I've got several HTs and I just listen. So I don't need stuff programmed in there to listen, as far as all that goes. This is my favorite Radtel radio, but I think it's a little bit expensive, but the quality of it is quite a bit better, in my opinion. It sounds better too. It's actually supposed to be waterproof. That's not their number one like selling bullet point, but there's a membrane across the speaker, I believe. It does use a Motorola style spacing on the cable. They send you a cable because you can't program it with the baofeng cable. The pins are too close together, which I'm not sure why they did that. So if you look at Motorola handheld radios, this is kind of like a mirror image of a couple of them that they make. The knobs, that little button up at the top, all of it. It is really a good radio. I don't know, I can't remember. It's not 10 watts, but it's very close. It might be on certain bands. What are they rating this thing at? It's funny they're not really talking about the waterproof thing at all, but it is, in fact, supposed to be. Interesting. Well, kind of. They sent me one of these. This is the one they sent me, and it was kind of like before they were even out. But it's a nice radio. I like it. Sound loud stereo anti-chatter membrane to remove noise. It's not stereo. I think that could just be an error in the translation in Chinese. Radtel's got some really nice radios. I think that their radios are really a step above anything made by baofeng. I've got this one too. That's the one I was complaining about, because the S meter doesn't actually really read. It's kind of like fake. Anyway, you always get these people that just don't know. Crap, plain and simple. Overall good. It works, but not well. I don't know. I don't have any problems with mine. Bad radio. Anyway, if we were going to buy something and get it tomorrow, I'm not seeing the radio that I would buy. Maybe we need to be more specific and search baofeng. Let's try. Get it by tomorrow. Free shipping. I don't want to be looking at. Let's put $40. Okay. We get $16 UB5R. We need $22 5RM that comes with a different antenna. What's the difference in price there? So they have one for $19.99 or something like that. I'm gonna look here. Good Lord, scrolling forever. Nothing there right down here. price and it deals. Jeez. Now we got 23 results. That narrows it very good. 22.75 versus the other one was probably 19.99. Or is it? Yeah, 19.99. So you're basically paying like $1.99 for another antenna, something like that. I don't know, I need to do the math on that, but if you want the antenna, you just buy it for $22.75. If you don't want the antenna, buy it for $19.99. They have the same radio. Maybe the other one comes with a USB cable and this one doesn't. You know, their USB cables that they're going to send you are going to be pretty crappy. So, the one I was hoping to find on here wasn't this one. It was more like one of these. But there's a new one of these that has airband. I don't know what the 5RTP would be. Pro GMRS, $28. That's ridiculous. If you've got these ones, I like these ones because they come in different colors. But they're like $22. 23. So you got black, blue, camouflage, red, and yellow. And the front bezel is metal. Kind of like my old UV5RA. UV5R Plus. There's the radio right here. So $19. You can get it by tomorrow. But it's not the one that I'm looking for. Maybe the other one you can't get by tomorrow. $33 for the GPS radio. You can get the GPS radio. But you really want to buy two of these because how are you going to play with the GPS function without two radios? And they used to have like a really good deal on two radios, but it looks like they don't now. The other radio, what do we got here? The other radio is $1 less for green. They have two of them for $64 that they're showing. These are interesting little radios. The new baofeng charging cord or programming cable. One of these is not going to work probably. I think it's this one here. They have cables that don't work, and Windows detects them and says, "Oh, this is using a counterfeited prolific chip," and they've successfully completely blocked it. It won't work anymore. I think these newer ones with the different label are the ones that generally work. The FTDI chip driver free. So now I got a cable from a Brie, and it said it was an FTDI chip, but it was a CH370 or something like that instead. But it works, so who cares? But yeah, it's not what it says it is. Well, I don't think that there's a radio that I would buy for $20 other than that one. Let's take a look and see what we get if we just look up the Prime. We want to roll. Price is $39. Alright. So you can get this one by tomorrow too, which is not a bad radio, I guess. This UB26 is like some Amazon only thing. I have a radio that looks like this, but with a different display. And I forget what the name of it is. Some weird brand. You get these for $22. See, the problem with this radio here is it doesn't have the full complement of the buttons. You have to use these other keys for secondary functions. And what they did is, instead of having 4 per row, they get 3 per row. And you need to make the keypad smaller so that they could put more keys in there, or make the radio wider. When you have a radio like this, you have the extra keys, and then you have these. You have a whole 1, 2. You have way more keys because you have 4 per row. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 4 rows, but there's also 4 in each row, so you get 16 keys. Well, what do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 15 keys. There's an extra key, and then you have a whole nother 1, 2, 3 keys. So there's a lot more keys on this. Less menu function crap to access basic functions. This is the one that I would buy. Right here. This is the new one. The M5R. And the reason I would buy this one is because you can see it during the day. It's a simple layout. It's got the keys. You have a USB-C. And it's going to be a small radio. It should fit the other UB5Rs as far as batteries go. It's $22. We can't get it by tomorrow. We can get it by Thursday. But anyway, that's the one I would buy. I don't know how the receive on it is, but I would just buy it based on that alone. And it's also got a 5% coupon, which is actually pretty good. Or you could buy this one here for $18. I don't know anything about these, but from what I've been told, they're not like the Quanshangs, even though they look like them. And you have these GPS radios with an interesting display. So anyway, yeah, I would buy the 5RM is what I would buy. So let's try this video out. We'll see. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and you guys let me know, what do you think of the new recording format.